Hi there. What do you do during your free time? What do you do when you're not working or doing something that is engaging your mind? Do you like outdoors? Do you like swimming? Do you like just sitting and watching television? Those things that you love to do for pleasure are called hobbies. And today at Talk, Share and Inspire, we want to delve into those things. We want to see why hobbies are important. And if you think hobbies are not important, this is why you should sit and listen to this show so that you can cultivate your hobbies for your overall well-being. Welcome once again to another episode. I am your host, Erica Okeyo, and I am joined by very adventurous people. They're going to tell us about their hobbies, how they discovered them, and why you should be keen on your hobbies. How are you?
Fine, thank you, Erica.
Once again, you look very nice. Who makes your suits? Refers to your tailor.
Chitenges, your chitenges,
Oh, yeah, they're chitenges. They're not suits.
It's my high school classmate.
Oh.
His name is Evans. His brand is called Look Empire.
Oh, Look Empire.
Yeah.
Check out Look Empire on
ask me who
Instagram.
makes my knees as well.
I'll ask you in another session. How are you, Brenda?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you, Erika?
I'm fine. Always bringing top energy. Happy to have you.
Happy to see you.
Are you guys well?
Oh, yeah, I am really well.
So tell us about your hobbies. First of all, what are hobbies?
Oof, depends with where you grew up and
Hey,
the kind
Brian.
of background you have.
What do
Hobbies
you
could
mean?
be funny.
Hobbies could be?
Farming.
I remember, like, growing up, especially coming from an African setup, any free time that we had, our parents saw it as an opportunity to employ child labor, okay, not child labor, to help us work and generate income to contribute to the family.
Exactly.
But I think now that I've grown up, I think hobbies, these are things you do for leisure, these are things you do for fun, and this is something that gives you energy, especially when you are low, something that fills your cup, so to say.
So something you do for pleasure, for leisure, and for fun.
Yeah, something that fills you,
But,
rejuvenates you, you enjoy doing,
Washing
and you
clothes.
not necessarily get paid for it.
Do you do washing clothes for fun or because they are dirty?
Have you ever cleaned your house and then when you're low, after cleaning your house, how do you feel?
You are low, sis. You are low.
See, he said something like when you're low and you clean your house or wash your utensils.
But for pleasure,
You
for
always
leisure.
feel like-
Do you wash your clothes and clean utensils for pleasure and leisure?
at times.
By the way, come to think of it,
There's
you can't really
there's
judge.
a way you
There's a
feel.
colleague of mine whose pleasure is work. That's what she does for fun. Like she's on leave,
No.
but she enjoys. I think the thing is, it's a free world. People are free to do what, as long as they enjoy doing
That's
it.
like how, you
Okay.
know how our parents, the same way you've said, our parents on Sundays, the minute your mother puts on gospel music,
It's time to clean the duvet.
that will be you will
and to
do your
scrub the
hobbies.
roof. Mm.
You will do your hobbies that Sunday. You will wipe the surface. No, I don't think that's a hobby.
Okay, so let's clarify.
That's not a hobby.
Hobbies are things that you do for pleasure
Yeah.
and for leisure and for fun. Whatever that definition means to you, those are hobbies. Oh, Brenda, you have a different definition.
I don't think I have.
Actually,
but me,
now-
my life is a hobby. My life is fun. You know?
I love that about you.
Yeah.
So you guys, you did not just... What's your hobby, by the way? Before we go into that.
For me, it's majorly adventure, travel, and mind games.
Ah, okay. So what do you do in mind games?
So mind games, I'm a big fan of games. So maybe a gathering, conducting team building activities. I even was able to make my hobby my work.
Ah,
So
okay.
I have a company called Jengaras, and we facilitate team building sessions on the side. So when I'm doing that, to me, that is something I can do even when you don't pay me. Because it's something I enjoy doing. It gives me satisfaction when I see other people are happy.
Awesome, awesome. Outdoor, travel, adventure. How about you, Brenda?
Brad is making me feel like I'm not serious with my life.
You just tell us what's your hobby.
Because my hobbies, where there's noise, where there's music, where there's food,
Food, me too.
there.
But is food a hobby?
The act where we
No, as long as there's food.
as long as that I have not cooked,
as long as the hobby.
that I have not cooked.
So as long as the hobby includes, there's food is included.
Yes,
So
and just-
anything that is entertaining to
for
you,
me, anything that
adventurous.
is entertaining and it's outdoors,
Okay.
because I just don't like being confined in
Indoors.
indoor spaces and music, food, noise, Count me in.
So as long as they're included,
Yes.
and as long
Call
as there's
me.
fun in that,
Just call
that's
me.
your
I will
hobby.
show up.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. But then let's clarify. Can someone have hobbies like indoor hobbies? Is that a thing?
I think people are different and we have different personalities and people get to enjoy different things. So let's say, for example, someone's hobby is reading novels. They can read it in-house. You can't go condemning them saying that's not a hobby. Someone
Oh yeah,
enjoys...
reading is a hobby. Yes.
There's some people maybe who enjoy watching movies. We even have indoor activities. Let's say
Indoor
maybe
games.
indoor
Indoor
games.
games, yeah.
Yes.
So we can't really define it. Just because I like outdoor, the person who enjoys indoor, we can't say that is not their hobby. So long as it's something that fuels them, rejuvenates them, and gives them, a plus whenever they're feeling low. I think whichever that means to you, that should be your hobby.
I relate to that because I have indoor and outdoor hobbies.
Oh, yeah.
There are times where I just want to sit at home and watch a movie and just like have popcorns, just have a good time in my house, or even play indoor games. I'm also a fan of indoor games, but most of the time I enjoy outdoor hobbies. So it's possible to actually have hobbies like outdoor and indoor. All
Now
right.
I'm thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, what's my hobby? I need to be serious with my life.
No, you've said as long as food and music.
Food, music, noise.
Entertainment.
Yes, that's your hobby.
There, call me.
Okay, so at one point you discovered your passions. You're like, I'm passionate about this. When I do this, I feel fulfilled. At what point?
I think for me it's through trial and error. I think in life there's no way, like, you don't grow. Normally what I like to say is sometimes based on your exposure. Maybe I'm passionate and my hobby is rock climbing, but because I've never had an experience to do so, I can never really count. So I think you get to do that through trial and error, and the more you do it, the more you get to learn the things that you enjoy over time. Like for me, outdoor is the thing for me. So the more, like, I ride a bike. So I remember on April during Easter, I rode from Nairobi to Malindi, covered over 2 and 4 was over 700 kilometers. That is something
Did
I
you
really
wake up
enjoy.
the next day?
Yeah, I'm here.
How many days? After how many days did you wake up? That's the question.
It was a hobby.
That's a hobby.
Yeah.
I rode. On Sabbath, I was in church.
You're actually traveling.
Yeah.
You're outdoor. You're having an adventure. Okay, so you've said one way of discovering your passions is to try different things.
Different things.
Okay.
And then over time, when you like something, no one will tell you like it. You will discover that you really enjoy doing.
Yeah. You'll feel like I feel like it gives you a spark. You feel just differently when you do that thing. And I relate to trying different things because at some point I had a group of friends who used to really enjoy music. So anywhere there was a
music?
concert, like concerts, like even karaoke, they would just good concerts, nice concerts, calm music and things like that. So because they were my friends and I was in the process of like discovering my hobbies, I used to join them, but I used to get so bored and I did not understand why. But they were having fun in the process. Like we'd have a concert.
But you
and
were struggling.
I was really, really struggling.
You're just a people pleaser.
Yeah, I was a people.
Yeah.
Wow, you had to tell me. Thank you.
camera.
Thank you, therapist.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to try that. Of course, I had friends. So, sometimes you need to feel like you're fitting in. And then one time I went for a hike. I couldn't wake up the next day because my joints were very painful, but my heart was full. I was feeling very happy. And that's when I knew, my friends actually don't like hiking.
But you enjoyed
I
hiking.
enjoyed hiking.
Okay.
So you see, I had to like try different things to discover what exactly am I passionate about. How about you?
I think when I discovered my personality, that's when I was just like, I know what works for me and doesn't work for me. I'm a sanguine melancholic. My major personality is the sanguine bit, and then there's a melancholic bit which tells you, Brenda, now it's time to...
The sanguine you is extroverted, is happy.
I'm an extrovert.
Yeah,
I'm
where
an
people
extrovert.
are.
Yeah. So then there's the melancholic bit that tells me, Brenda, I think you've done enough today. I just...
Your social battery goes down and
low.
time.
So the minute I knew that, I was like, now I know what works for me and does not work for me. I don't mind concerts. I don't mind hikes. But there are things I will do just because this melancholic side feels fulfilled. I will do them. And there are things that I will do that the sanguine bit is like, now this is what we want. Why don't you give us this, Yeah. So the minute I became aware of my temperament, that is where I was like, now I know what works for me and does not work for me.
When you learned about your temperaments.
Yes.
And the good thing about temperaments and personalities, those are things that you can actually
You can always,
just learn online. You just Google how to do a personality test, and it will give you a number of questions, and at the end of the day you'll have answers and you'll get to know your personality, if that is something that interests you. So as we do our hobbies, as you're outdoor doing adventure, there are things you have discovered about yourself. What are some of those things?
Now this sounding like a reflective session. But I think one of the ways maybe
Because we want to break down why people should focus on their hobbies and interests.
So one of the things I think I can advise is how to help you in your journey to discover your hobby is responding to 5 answers to the question, I'm happy the most when A, B, C, D, E.
Brian.
Whatever it is that makes you happy, kind of should give you a glimpse into what you really enjoy doing, because happiness is the thing that, fuels us.
I'd have loved for that point to come, at the end when you're giving tips, but go ahead.
Users can cut it, but so...
No, he has another tip.
Yes.
This is just a tip of the iceberg. Yes.
So back to the question that you asked, what are some of the things
you discovered about yourself while exploring your hobbies?
I've discovered, for example, limits. One of the things I've realized is they normally say adrenaline junkie, but I'm a daredevil. So that has pushed me. Like, for example, riding from Nairobi to Malindi, that was not a walk in the park. I started riding actually this year. So I was not experienced in riding, but we rode with my friend. And one of the things that helped me discover is in life, you need to dare certain limits. You need to dare your fears. You need to dare the self-limiting beliefs that we have. So one of the things I've discovered through practicing my hobby, it has opened a career that has helped me even learn how to accept myself.
Oh, wow. So through your hobbies, you actually had a whole source of income
now.
Yes. So
he just said that he started his own company.
Yes,
because he loves adventure and games and stuff like that. So
I thought it was the cycling bit. I was like,
no.
Sorry.
Yeah, so during that, you see, people give you feedback, and people are normally honest. They'll tell you if you're good at something. But sometimes, of course, as human beings, we normally don't for example, the other day we were learning about tests. Let me ask you, how would you rate yourself in terms of success between 1 and 10?
How would I rate myself? A confident 8.
Confident 8?
Yes.
A confident 11.
11 out of 10.
That's really good.
Ask me again. 14 out of 10.
That's really good. But statistics show most of the times people normally lower themselves.
Yeah, I feel like I just
what other people share. Like, for example, you'd ask me, I would normally wrote myself at around 5. But then some people will see things. It's just because maybe I look at things differently.
Yes.
And then people will see the things that you've been able to do.
You over magnify
the
things that you're not good at. So you make that to look like you are not successful while you are really good.
Yeah, and people normally will be honest. So one of the things that did to me when I was practicing my hobby, I constantly got feedback that I'm really good at, and that helped me now believe even in myself. Kumbe, I can also be good at something, and that opened a whole Pandora into it spread into other areas of my life, and it helped me believe in myself, pushed myself in even different aspects that were not even hobby related.
Awesome.
It feels like Brian it feels like you've accomplished everything.
He's lived this life.
You go
and
home.
He's giving himself a 5 out of 10 in terms of success.
I'm about to answer that question and I don't know what I'm going to say, but you, my friend, go home.
This was your time to be inspired. Remember, we are talking, sharing, and
so I'm
inspiring. You are inspired to inspire.
You see?
Well, no worries. But one of the things I learned about myself the first time I went for a hike, it was supposed to be a fun activity, okay? But then there was lots of detours. We went to a place that was not very familiar to us. So it was really hard to get there. So at some point, people wanted to go back, but I really wanted to get there. You see, we were told when we the place is called Kisamis, a place in Ngong, here in Kenya. I wanted to get there because I was told if you get to Kisamis, you'll be able to zip line. I left my house because we were going to zip line. And it was my first time to try zip lining. So I was really, really passionate to get there and to zip line. So from that experience, I learned that I'm very resilient. I don't give up. I just don't give up. And then one like negative thing that I learned about myself, at that point I noticed I was struggling a bit with anger management. And I think at that point, that's when I started like really focusing on my emotional intelligence
all
and
this
things
through your
like that.
hobbies?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So
It feels like it was therapeutic in a way.
it was. I did not know it, but right now or like later on when I reflected about that. So at that point we were stuck. It was 7 p.m. It was late. We were in like a new place that we didn't know how to get out of that place. And we were actually walking on mud because the car couldn't get to where we are. So we had to like walk and like go over mud. And there's a point I think my friend couldn't step well and they held me. And I was not very happy about that.
Did you manage to zip line though?
I did zip line. I did zip line. So on our way back, I also learned, oh yeah, I think I should work on my anger management. That reaction was completely unnecessary.
On that point, I think I've learned my hobbies have taught me how to learn to accommodate my friends because as I've said, I'm a sanguine.
Yes.
So I'd expect everyone to be as hype as possible and 24/7. But then in my circle, there are people who are just chill. And you ask them, are you okay? They're like, yeah, I'm having fun. Like you're having fun and
you're quiet.
And you're quiet.
How?
Like, how does that work, you know? So at first I really used to struggle with such people. I'm like, this one is very boring. She's not even screaming. She's not even making noise. This one is boring. Not to say kujana. Like, let's never come with her again for these things, you know? But later, like, I think because it's taken me time I still struggle to date with accommodating people, but I have learned, like, this is Brian, that's how he has fun, well and good.
Yes.
Brenda, this is how you have fun, you do you. So I have learned how to accommodate my friends through this hobby journey.
So one point I'm picking in this conversation, hobbies can be a very perfect way to build interpersonal skills. To build soft skills.
Hey, Brian.
We actually don't know that we need, you know? Yeah, and just to get onto the other side of the conversation, hobbies also have a way of bringing out your creative outlet. And for Brian, at least he has already explained that, you know, through that he was able to like discover you are creative. I think Brian has a whole he actually has a whole WhatsApp group that people meet on Thursdays to play mind games.
Oh, really?
That was very creative, like Kahoots and stuff like that. Kahoots is one of those like online games. Have you like had any creative outlet with your hobbies?
Have I?
Or Brian, I'm sure you have something. I've spoken on your behalf on that.
I think also hobbies need not to be that serious. Just because you don't have outlets doesn't justify your hobby not being good enough.
It does not
so
have
long
to
as,
lead to creativity.
It's okay. So long
I
as
don't think my hobbies lead to
and
creativity.
and you are really enjoying. You're really enjoying. That's really good. But I think at the end of the day, what really counts is if you're able to convert your passion and earn from it, you know, finding that ikigai model where you know what is it that you love, what is it that you enjoy doing, what need is it solving in the world, how can you be paid from it. So if you find that sweet spot and you make that your hobby, like my dream job is actually to use games as a tool to inspire Africans to be better or be the best versions of themselves. And that is something that I can even do over time. As in, you need to remind me to do it because that's something I enjoy doing. So if you can find that sweet spot, and when it comes to passion, really, you don't have to say like, I'll do this next year. This can permeate anywhere in your life space. So if you're passionate or your hobby is hospitality, even in your workplace, even if you're doing maybe theater, you can still be hospitable. So depending, if you're passionate about teaching, you can still teach in every different sector. So you don't have to wait for a magical day where everything will align so that you can start practicing the thing that you're passionate about or the thing that you want to call your hobby.
Awesome. And then
I think I don't know. For me, my passion is these things we're talking about, like other things we spoke about in the other episode, things like theater and stuff. Those I can do effort, like I can just wake up and do them. But for me, I really, really try for my hobbies, let them not touch my work. If I am going out for let's say zip lining or an adventure, let me just be in the moment.
So it's not work related.
For me, I just don't want my hobbies to be work related. Okay. I normally don't work. If it's work, let me just do my work and finish. Then after that, we can play all we want.
Okay, so you want to have fun and to be entertained. Nothing formal, nothing serious.
But when we're formal, let's be formal. Let's
Yes.
be serious.
Yeah.
Let's have the work
Okay.
done. Yeah.
I love that. And then hobbies come with challenges. It goes without saying. Have you guys faced such?
I think the challenge I have faced for me, and it goes back to the friends, there are times the activities I can't do alone, but then it's also come as a challenge and as a blessing in disguise, because for the longest time, I, as a sanguine, really, I struggled just being alone. The thought of just me being alone, I just wasn't sitting right with me. But I've learned how to, it came as a challenge, because I'm like, I want to go for an outdoor activity. I rally my friends, Erika, Brian, where are you guys? Can we do this? Can we do that? And then the time you want them to come out is there. No, so I'm traveling. Oh, my brother got this. Everyone has an excuse.
They have something going on
Then I was
for
like,
them.
you know what? I can do this on my own. Let me do it on my own. So it came as a challenge and as a blessing as well.
A challenge in the sense that you couldn't get your friends
Exactly.
to like go out and have outdoor activities with you, but on the other side you actually learned to enjoy your
Be
own
alone,
company.
and I just go alone and make other friends out there if I meet them.
Awesome.
For the
How about
outdoor
you,
activity.
Brian?
I think number one challenge, money. My
yeah,
hobbies
it's
need money.
Your hobbies are
My hobbies,
money.
my dream is to do skydiving one day. If there are sponsors out there, I'm more than willing to enter the aeroplane with one door and exit with another. I
Just
think
go and
money, of
spend
course, some of the
ahead.
things you want to do,
Yeah.
the tough economic times that we are living in, sometimes it's hard to finance some of the hobbies that we really want to enjoy. I think that's one challenge. The second is also sometimes, especially to group activity, people have different minds, different personalities. You may want to do your hobby this Sunday, but just as she said, the others, people have plans, people have different, something else can come up. So I've learned also to enjoy my time alone.
Yeah.
So I've learned how to, like, for example, sometimes I've done rides alone when my friends was
you're
not
just
available.
okay,
And
right?
that's still fine.
And you know why that is important? Like just giving it a little bit of a biblical perspective. You see, the world has made it look like it's very bad to be lonely. There's no problem there's a problem being lonely, but it's okay to be alone. Yes, yeah. Jesus so many times, like he used to wake up but before it was day, and he used to go to a place alone. He used to gather to those places alone. So there is nothing wrong with doing things by yourself. It's not a challenge. Brian, did you have any inspiration, or did you said you tried different things, but did you have anyone who you're like, hey, this person is having hobbies and they're having a good time?
I think when I look back, this is something I've always enjoyed from childhood. Like I remember, like when I was young back in primary, one of the things that I used to enjoy the most, I used to go to school because we will play, not because we will study. As in the games would play. Like we used to stay in Dandora, so it was not safe sometimes. So I started enjoying curfew before COVID. So my parents will limit the time that I would spend outside. So school for me was that place where I would be free. Or if there was church, I remember even during Pathfinder, yes, it was good to learn about the laws of Pathfinder. But what was motivating for me was the time we'd play football. So games has been radiating in me from the time that I was young. So even when I look back, it's something that has always been me. Even when I work right now, I'm always the kind of boss or employee who's always looking at what is the fun way to do this thing. I'm always looking for, can we do it
You're a
better?
good
To me,
boss.
that is the thing
That's very,
that I really enjoyed.
That's very important, because recently there have been like so many studies on game-based learning.
Yeah.
Like incorporating games for people to actually grasp things better. On my side, one of the things that like really inspired me, there's someone I used to follow who was a superwoman. By follow, I used to like how they were living their lives, and I saw that they had balance. Like they had time to go and do the things that they love, and I'm like, why
If
why
she can
not?
do it, why not
can't I?
me?
Yes,
know.
yeah. So how would you encourage someone to build their hobbies?
I relate with those who did not like
You
PE.
didn't like PE, Brian.
I did.
No, but you used to go to school to love playing.
I hate
Wait, it's the
I hate
irony.
a hobby
You
that
don't
has
like-
pain.
No,
Let me put
Brian.
it like that.
PE had pain.
You see, let's say, for example, there are people whose hobby is the
But now
gym.
you're doing
That's super painful for me. You won't find me doing it. I don't enjoy the only exercise I can do comfortably is walking. I can walk for long,
cycling.
But you
but
know,
that is something that I enjoy doing.
you know, actually, research says walking is one of
Walking
the
is one of
best
the,
exercises.
exercise.
Yes,
Walking,
people go
running.
to. We are not. There is nothing wrong with going to the gym, but people go to the gym and
It's
end
just
up,
Brian who doesn't like the gym.
yeah.
That's fine.
I love the gym
I do.
sometimes, not all the time. Yeah, people go to the gym, they end up breaking their joints and all that, but there is actually nothing wrong with that as long as you're gymming nicely. I'm just assuring you that you're on the right step, even
It's
with your
actually,
walking.
it's the irony of life. He didn't like PE, but now he has a whole company.
I was very specific.
whole
Mind
game.
games.
A whole
Mind
PE
games,
company.
not energy games.
No, but you do team building.
I
and
facilitate.
You facilitate.
Yeah, actually, I've been to one of his facilitation. He does not do the actual games. He facilitates people to play. But he
So
does
do
not play.
this, and then
Yes.
he's just there.
Yes. Guys, we are pressed for time. We want to give very quick tips for someone to encourage them to cultivate their hobbies. Let's start with you, Brenda.
I think what I'd say is all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So just get that hobby. I think it may take time. It might be challenging, but just get a hobby. It helps you, even as an individual, learn more about yourself and then learn about the people around yourself. So get a hobby. It's really refreshing and mind-blowing.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brenda. Yes, Brian.
I think for me, they say sadness creates its own time. You never choose time to be sad. Like, you may lose a relative. Sad moments, you will have hard times. Those ones find time.
They
But
always
we
know.
need to be very intentional about finding our own happiness. So plan for it. The way we budget, please budget for happiness. Budget for, I'll summarize it with this. It's not about, when you take care of yourself, it's not selfish, it's self-care. How often do you prioritize
We are taking
self-care?
notes.
You can't give from an empty cup.
Yes.
One of my favorite preachers, Randy Skit, says, the poor can't help the poor. You know, you have to be rich so that you can help the poor. Or the blind can't lead the blind. And so it goes without saying, even if you want to help people, you want to be productive at work, then you need to find something that fills your cup, because you can't give from an empty cup. So what is it that fills your cup? Find that thing and plan for it. Have time for it. The way we plan, maybe if you're Adventist to go to church on Sabbath, plan to have happiness.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I hope this one has encouraged you to cultivate your hobbies and your interests. The Bible says that Christ wanted us to live life and to live it in abundance. And hobbies are one way to add joy, life, and fulfillment to you. So yeah, please go find out your hobbies and work on them. We hope to see you once again in another episode of Talk, Share, and
Inspire.
Thank you. Bye-bye.